what is up? What's up? What's up, good people? How's it going? What's going on? Angela, Barbara, faithful watchers. Will, what's going on, brother? Nancy, how's it going? Kiana, and everyone else who just joined, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do me a favor and share this video. Share this video. All right, guys, let's get into this. I know you've been waiting all day for some information, some news, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's talk about this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, if you was completely sleeping on the rock, I don't even think many of the people in the area of Oklahoma actually had an opportunity to sleep. Many, like me, was awakened by several alarms, and gratefully, I just wanted to let's put that out there. It was, gratefully we were awakened by all these alarms, and these alarms kept coming, and yeah, it was a lot. Some people were on edge. Some people was like, yo, what's going on? But if you were living under a rock, yesterday in Oklahoma, they had a total of 15 tornadoes that hit the ground. That's right. That's exactly what I said. 15 tornadoes hit the ground in Oklahoma between last night and this morning. And it's not over. It's not over. I know a lot of you guys are like saying to yourself, I just want this to be over. I'm done. I'm watching a lot of your posts. A lot of you guys were saying that I want this done. It's not done. Okay. There's a lot of flooding that's going on, but out of all of these stories that we hear and all of the miraculous things that individuals had to go through, there was some damage in the Tulsa area. There was damage all over. There were people in the Newada area. We've heard about Leach. There was some misinformation that came out last night. I believe one of the storm chasers put out some information about the entire town is flat, and I shared it because at this point in time we have no confirmation. We're dependent on this, but it was quickly retracted, and the town did not lose. But it was a lot of information that was out there. But I understand that there was only one fatality. That's what I'm hearing. But it was really, 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 really bad. People in Texas got a little bit. People in their storm is also going to be happening in Missouri. It's really bad. But one of the heartbreaking stories I came across was this guy. He was actually rescued. Watch this video from yesterday, or actually this morning. This happened this morning. Watch this video, guys.
Fire Department Rescue Task Force and several engines and ladders were dispatched to Newton and St. Louis for a tree on a house that had collapsed into the house, and the man of the house, while trying to rescue his wife and 6 children, was trapped. His right arm was trapped on the debris, and Tulsa Fire Department did an excellent job using airbags to lift a tremendously large tree off of his arm, and IMSA transported him to St. John's.
again, the wonderful nature of the fact that people are saving and they were doing life-saving techniques, and it was just tremendous for the fire department and all of the first responders and people, friends and family members who came out there to help folks who you did not know, but you guys helped them. And that's something that I definitely will say is remarkable, especially in this season of tornadoes and all those different things. You often see individuals come together to help your neighbor. And this was in the area where I believe it was most hit in this particular area. It was more of the North Tulsa area around North Lewis and all. So that's what happened. I understand down in Bixby and all those areas, there are people that were down there. There was some damage down there in Kiefer and all those different things. So I don't have all the damage, but this is what I do have. I have a freaking warning. Why am I warning you guys? I'm warning you guys because someone called me and they said, Mark, you got to tell your people that, you just got to put it out there that, listen, we need you guys to understand what's about to happen. So I was like, well, what is about to happen? They said, well, we're about to have massive flooding. And I was like, well, the storm is gone. So why are we getting ready to have massive flooding? Well, the mayor of Tulsa today came out and spoke in reference to the flooding. So apparently the reason he came out and congratulated the first responders and everyone else who was out there. But the mayor also came out and was telling people to prepare for massive flooding down more South Tulsa area. So in the Bixby area, the Jinx area, and they are currently, as we speak right now, evacuating people. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are evacuating individuals. Why are they evacuating individuals? Because the Keystone Dam is deciding they have to release more water out of the Keystone Dam. So what they have to do is that water has to go someplace. So they're releasing, from my understanding, between 160,000 cubic feet of water to 180,000 cubic feet of water, however they measure it. So if you're a scientist out there, you're measuring water, please don't ding me. So they are currently evacuating as we speak. This is what they have here, and I just read here in the report. The Army Corps engineers have confirmed the release of the Keystone Dam to 160 cubic feet beginning at 6 o'clock p.m., which is going on now. Potential minor flooding with potential power and disconnections could be expected along the Arkansas River. The following areas may be impacted 8 to 10 hours following the peak output. Individual businesses in the following areas should make necessary precautions. They have listed these particular areas, ladies and gentlemen. Tulsa, 121st Street to 131st Street along the Arkansas River and to Sheridan. Bixby, 151st Street to 161st Street from Memorial to the Arkansas River. Bixby again, 161st Street to 171st Street between Mingo Road and Garnett. And Jinx area from south of 91st Street to west of Elm Street. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not take any of these precautions lightly. They are warning people in these particular areas, and they have also said that they have set up those who are impacted. Please contact the Red Cross. They have an evacuation center. Let me put this on the screen. Totally, the evacuation center is Crosstown Church, Church of Christ, 3400 East Admiral. That is the evacuation center. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because, as Veronica has willfully said, is that the Arkansas is full and they're letting more water out. So if they're letting more water out, the water has to go places. Now, part of North Tulsa, Midtown Tulsa, and some of South Tulsa is going to be okay. But as you know, when the land flattens out, that's down there, South Tulsa, Bixby area, that's the area that's really concerned. And I saw earlier today that people were getting U-Haul trucks and moving out of the particular area, and they were just moving. Now, that's the Tulsa area. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you have family, I just saw this come across. If you have family in the Muskogee area, they are evacuating as we speak. Yes, Daniel, thank you for letting me know. It says, let me bring this on the screen. It says, Muskogee, Oklahoma, the town of Weber Falls is now under evacuation due to the flooding potential. The Muskogee County Emergency Management had a meeting tonight and requested complete evacuation of the town. They say that the flooding is going to be the worst they have anticipated. On their Facebook page, they post the location of the shelter. Let me go ahead and put this out here. Let me just go ahead and read this right here, guys, for you guys so you can see it. It says, we're attending a meeting with Muskogee County Emergency Management tonight. The flood is going to be worse than anticipated. They have requested complete evacuation of the town of Weber Falls, maybe if I'm saying it incorrectly. We will post the location and shelters. As we receive this information, you may contact Sandy Wright at 918-990-0035, Bobby Ork, 918-990-1001, or Shiloh McPeak at 918-231-1026. Please take precautions. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to play with water. Why don't you want to play with water? Because water is not forgiving. Yes, I get it. You probably can swim. I get it. And this is not about swimming, ladies and gentlemen. This is about saving your life. And I was out last night driving, and I got cussed out by about 5 or 10 people because I was out driving. And I was out driving, and you would not imagine the amount of water that's on these roads. And when I turned around and I saw the amount of water that was on these roads, it was crazy. And people, and I drive a truck, but people with cars are just flying by. And I'm like, goodness, y'all are crazy. You can hydroplane, you can do all those different things. Dan, you said some roads underwater in Muskogee, nothing really bad, but you can see it. Ladies and gentlemen, please take precaution. From my understanding, this flooding is going to be going on for the next couple of days. It's not 8 hours. All right. It's going to be release after release after release. And the Arkansas can't take it. And they're already talking about a particular levee that is breaching. Just letting you know. Take precautions, please. It is very important. I value your life. And as a matter of fact, I'm grateful for everyone, your Facebook pages. You guys was putting out information. You guys were letting people know, hey, so-and-so needs help. This person needs help. It really warmed my heart because, so many times we have this whole mentality that it's us against them. It's them against us. We have that mentality. But have you noticed that humans always come together when they need to come together, when it's so important, dealing with something of emergency? And I think that is really, really good. Definitely really, really good. Thank you, Angela, for keep posting that. If you can, just keep posting that in the blog. For those who want to know more about the release of the water, those who want to find out what's going on with the water, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just the Tulsa area. There are areas in Oklahoma City that are bad. There are areas down there that are bad. There's areas in Western Oklahoma that are bad. So I'm only saying about the Northeast area. So it's just bad. And see, what's going to end up happening is that Missouri, of then St. Louis, they're getting rain, and that rain is coming down stream. And what do you think that's going to do? That's going to flood more areas. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, let me go on to the next story so I won't bore you guys enough. I know you guys are stormed out. So let's talk about some politics here. Hope Hicks, ladies and gentlemen. Hope Hicks is being subpoenaed to go talk to Nancy and the crew. That's right. Hope Hicks, if you don't know who Hope Hicks is, she is Donald Trump's right-hand lady. She has been through Donald Trump for decades, and she knows where the bodies are buried. And let's just put it like that. She knows where the bodies are buried, and she is being subpoenaed. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, hey, she's going to do the same thing like Don McGahn has done. They're going to go ahead and just say, I'm not going to show up. And it's probably going to be a showdown. But, ladies and gentlemen, I get what the Democrats are doing. I hear it. I understand it. But they're moving too slow, in my opinion. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. They're moving too slow, in my opinion. I need the Democrats to go ahead and file for impeachment. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get this stuff started. That's the way I feel. And I'm sure many of you guys feel the same damn way. Let's get this show on the road. And it sounds as if that Nancy, Speaker Pelosi, let me just do it like that. Speaker Pelosi is listening and warming up to the phase that we have to almost impeach now. So it looks like this. And it's the way I feel, y'all. It's the way I feel. It's that time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Carson is an asshole. Ben Carson is an asshole. I know you guys don't like for me to use some type of the bad language, but Ben Carson is an asshole, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you guys this exchange today. This is an exchange from Representative Katie Porter. She is a Democrat from California. She is a representative, and she is on the banking finance group or committee. Ben Carson is an idiot. Okay. If you don't know who Ben Carson is, he is the world-renowned brain surgeon who now is running HUD. It seems like that's all they do is to put the HUD, the black people over HUD, you know, because it stands for Housing Urban Development. So Ben Carson said his only experience is to, I guess, some type of housing was how he one time, I think, went to a housing project or his mother, some crap. It was crazy. Ben Carson today is over HUD. That means they're responsible for getting finances to people who are under Section 8. They're responsible getting people who are needing assistance dealing with housing. They also give grants. They also give all those different things. Ben Carson is an asshole. Watch this exchange, ladies and gentlemen, and you will understand why I said he's an asshole.
I'd like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
E organization?
Owned, real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO. Mm-hmm. And FHA loans have much higher REOs. That is, they go to foreclosure rather than to loss mitigation or to non-foreclosure alternatives like short sales than comparable loans at the GSEs. So I'd like to know why we're having more foreclosures that end in people losing their homes with stains to their credit and disruption to their communities and their neighborhoods at FHA than we are at the GSEs.
Ben Carson didn't know what a REO is. Okay, mind you, this is dealing with foreclosures. This is his vein. He had no clue exactly what REO stands for at all. And so he's an embarrassment. He is an embarrassment. But let me tell you what he did. Not just to the fact that he did this whole mix up thinking that it was Oreos. This is what he did. He tweeted out some beep Oreos. No lie. This is what he did. Ben Carson says, oh, REO. Thanks, Representative Katie Porter. Enjoying the few post-hearing snacks. Sending some love your way. He is sending her some damn Oreos, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't with this dude. I just can't. I can't understand how Ben Carson Okay, I do understand how Ben Carson got this position because it's not about qualification. It's about how well you can lick a boot. So I get it. I understand. Or you can shine the dome of the king's hand. Or you can kiss the ring. I understand how he got this position. But damn, just try to act like you are going to try your best to do something about it. Try your best to be the best at what you do. Just try your best, Ben. This don't make no sense, Ben, at all for you to mess all of this up. And then you try to double down on it and to try to send the woman some Oreos. Bruh, just go home. Just go home. You're an embarrassment. Don't be in that position buying $40,000 worth of furniture and then you can make this terrible joke, this terrible gaffe that you really didn't know. Instead of you brushing up on your skills and learning this, you really didn't know. That's Ben Carson, y'all. I want y'all to check that out. That's Ben Carson. He sends this. Ben Carson sends this right here. So, I don't know, y'all. That's crazy. All right, guys, let me go on to another story. When life sends you lemons, the saying is you make lemonade, right? When life sends you lemons, you make lemonade. Sometimes we attempt to make these lemonades. Sometimes we get to a point where the lemonade is sour or do we need to make the lemonade? I believe that certain things happen to change things inside of us, and also it changes how we handle and how we do things. Where am I going with this? I'm going with this is because just because something bad happens to you doesn't necessarily mean that you are to stay still and not do anything to change the lives of millions of people. Some people can have something bad to happen to them and they become polarized in that and they don't do anything to change it. And then some people would turn around and say, this happened to me and this is very sad, but I'm going to go out here and make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, I think no person in social justice deserves any form of non-credit than Sabrina Fulton. Sabrina Fulton is Trayvon Martin's mother. She is the mother of Trayvon Martin. Her son was gunned down. You know the story. If you don't know the story, use a Google. 2013. George Zimmerman. We know the story left and right. We admired her poise between her father, her ex-husband. Well, sorry, not ex-husband, but Trayvon's father. They were married. Sorry, ex-husband. Their poise and how they came together for Trayvon Martin. I think it was beautiful. It's just beautiful. Sabrina Fulton, ladies and gentlemen, is about to throw her hat in the race for county commissioner. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sabrina Fulton is running for an elected office. We've seen Lucy Davis has done this, and she's in Congress now from Georgia. We saw Michael Brown's mother ran. She didn't win, but she did run for city council in Ferguson. And now we have Sabrina Fulton running for county commissioner. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. She's already announced that she is running for county commissioner in her county. And she vows to make a difference. I like it. I love it. Because what she is doing is making lemonade, yo. She has the right to become polarized in her fears. And she's campaigning for Hillary Clinton. She's traveled the world. She's traveled talking about her experiences. But I really believe that your power becomes when you are in power to make the position, right? I really believe that. I commend Sabrina Fulton. I want her to win. I want her to run an impeccable campaign. I want her to have more success. I love the fact that she is saying, I want to make a change. But this is the part that gets me. She wants to make a change in her local county area. That is so beautiful. In the local area, the area where people are probably the most disenfranchised, the area where people feel as if that they have no end in sight. Her area, she knows this area. So let me read a little bit to you so, I can go ahead and put this out here. Here we go. It says, Sabrina Fulton announced Saturday that she would launch her campaign for the District 1 seat, which will be relinquished in 2020 by the term limit commissioner Barbara Jordan. Miami Gardens Mayor Oliver Gilbert is also running for the seat, one of 5 up for grabs after Miami-Dade voters approved a 2-term limit for the 13-member board in 2012. Miami Gardens is the biggest city in District 1. Fulton, who plans to formally announce her run on Monday, campaigned for Hillary Clinton in 2016. She also said that she is not anti-gun, but promotes gun measures that would tighten background checks and restrict private gun sales. This is what she said. Our country must continue moving forward so our families are safe from violence, can afford to live in Miami-Dade and have access to good paying jobs. She said that in her statement. She said, I am ready to take on the issues and many others in our county government. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabrina Fulton is doing the damn thing. And I like it. I think it is something that we need to give her some props, some claps on. I like it. Just like Obama said in his exit speech. Absolutely. Obama said, get out there and do something. Don't just talk about it. Vote and become something and change. We have to stop allowing people who don't have our experiences to think like we think. It ain't in them. They don't understand. They don't have our experiences. They have a different form of experience. And I just leave it like that. So we can't expect people we cannot expect people who don't have our experiences to go out there and make a change for our lives. That's just not going to happen. So we have to go out here and do something about it. All right. Congratulations to Sabrina, and I wish her well on her run. Definitely, it is going to be a hard feat because any elected official that's running for office, and you have total 5 people running, so that is a position where people who are powerful, and a lot of people are probably saying to themselves, well, what is a county commissioner? What do they do? County commissioner is responsible for the budget of the county. That's right, the budget of the county. So that means all the money that comes in for that county, approving the money for the jails, the money for, the roads, the bridges, the grant money, all those different things that comes in to the county commissioner. So for a person to be in the county commissioner position, you are in a great position because you can make a change that will affect thousands of lives as opposed to one little area. You can affect thousands more. So I want people to understand that a county commissioner is no small feat. And I hats off to Ms. Fulton and her team as she runs this race. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my last and final story. And I needed this story. Let me tell you why I needed this story. I needed this story because, and let's just get some personal, right? I needed this story because every time you turn around, you see something of corruption, right? You see corrupt here, corrupt there. This person's corrupt. That person's corrupt on this level. Every time you turn around, you see corruption. You see corruption in the police department. You see corruption in the mayor's office. You see corruption in the prosecution office. You see corruption in the federal government. You just see corruption. And you're saying to yourself, and I know many of you guys like me, come on, let's get closer. Many of you guys like me are saying to yourself, well, damn, I'm out here abiding by all these damn laws, doing what I'm supposed to do, but yet and still people who are in power positions get to skirt around the laws, get to sell drugs, do whatever, do the most. and nothing happens to them. But if I run a red light or if I do something bad, I got to pay the fines or an enormous fine. If I do something bad, you coming down on me. Aren't you tired of individuals who are in power positions getting away with their own crimes? Aren't you tired of that? Because I am too. So I've been going through this thing. It's like, oh my God, I'm just so sick and tired of it. Nobody is going to check this person. Nobody is going to check this person. And this one person I'm talking about is Donald Trump. Donald Trump has the power to pardon. And this is what I'm talking about. Donald Trump has the power to pardon people on a federal level, only federal. So Donald Trump can turn around and say, Paul Manafort, you got this federal sentence, you got that federal sentence. I'm getting ready to wipe your slate clean. I'm going to commute your sentence or I'm going to pardon you. Yep. We can go through all of this tax findings. We can go through all of this stuff. And if Donald Trump is in power or a president that is in power that wants to pardon somebody, they have that right to pardon someone. However, New York just did something that I wish other states do. Yes, there may be some abuse, but New York just did something. And I'm telling you all this is beautiful. Here's the headlines. New York legislators approve double jeopardy legislation aimed at Trump pardon power. Amazing. Okay, let me break it down for you. I know some of you guys in the back. Let me tell you why. Why is this amazing? This is amazing. This is amazing. This is historic. Why is this historic? Because typically, let's say the state government files a charge. The federal government comes in and says, well, we have some federal fines or some federal charges that we would like to file on this person. The federal government is superseded by the state. So the federal government takes on these charges. They go through their trials or they go through a plea bargain and they find this person guilty. In a normal situation in New York or any state in the country, once you have been charged with a federal crime, the state cannot go back and charge you with that same crime. That is considered double jeopardy. Okay? So what New York has done is pass legislation. They're saying in our state, if Donald Trump or any other president pardon someone for federal offenses, we can now go and do what? Use the same crime that they committed in the federal offense. We can now charge them on the state offense. That's big, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge. Right now, it's on the desk of Andrew Cuomo. And as you know, he's running for president. So you know he's going to sign the bill. This is a beautiful thing. This is what it says. Let me go in here. Let me give you some context here. It says that's currently not allowed because of what Democrats who back the measure have called double jeopardy loophole. This is the loophole we talked about. A gap in the state law that prevents the state prosecutors from using the same set of facts to bring on charges against federally pardoned individuals. This, ladies and gentlemen, now is the beauty of now, layman's terms, Trump pardons Paul Manafort. New York State can come back and charge Paul Manafort for the same charges that the federal government charged him for. That's amazing. I think that is beautiful. And Troy, you said this sucks. Oh, why does it suck? Why do you think it sucks? I guess because it could be used for abuse. Let me know why you think it sucks. New York Attorney General, she comes out, and this is what she tweeted out today. She said, my bill to close the double jeopardy loophole in New York just passed the New York Assembly. Double jeopardy exists to prevent someone from being charged twice for the same crime, not to allow them to evade justice altogether. Then she goes on to say, the rule of law is a core pillar of the nation's democracy, and my primary role is to uphold it and ensure that no one is above the law. I applaud the New York Assembly majority and Assembly for their leadership and look forward for this being signed. I like it. I think it's good. So let's go to Troy. Troy said, black people will get pardoned, then sent back to jail. Troy, black folks don't get pardoned. Come on now. Come on. You know black people ain't getting pardoned. I mean, they get commuted, ain't getting pardoned. I don't see a lot of people of color getting pardoned from the President of the United States of America. I don't see a lot of it. I see they getting commuted, but not necessarily pardoned. Shelly, you said, what's up, Shelly? You said he better not back down. Cuomo, that is. Nah, he's not gonna back down. He needs it. Troy, you said my client is on the deck to be pardoned now. Okay, all right. Well, you know what? And Troy, why are you talking about this? Let me just say this, because there's been this big press on like Kim Kardashian going out here, you know, getting pardons. Let me explain something to you guys. Kim Kardashian is paying an attorney in Texas to file this appropriate forms to get people pardoned. And at this point in time, I don't care if it's Kim Kardashian or it's a stripper down the street who's getting paid, or if it's somebody who's doing porn. I don't care. If people are going to use their money to bring about change, I'm all for it. Would commutation sentences be covered under the law? I think so. I don't think they even listed pardon. I just think they just closed the double jeopardy loophole. So while you're talking, Troy, I'm thinking it could be that the federal government doesn't bring about a case. Let's just say it may be one of those situations that the federal government can't bring about. They may bring about a charge, but then they can't win the case. Maybe the state will end up picking up those charges. So it could be a situation like that. But also it depends on how much money that state has. Typically, the federal government will come and pick up the charges because the state doesn't want to spend that money in prosecuting such a big case. So I guess it could work both ways. It could work both ways. I don't know. I don't think the bill specifically spoke about pardon power. I think the article just said that they can pardon, but I believe the bill is aimed directly at going after closing that loophole in itself. So it's the way I look at it. I don't know. I mean, I look at it from this perspective. I think it's a good thing. But then with abuse, it could happen. What's up, Benita? What's up, yo? What's up, Glenda? Abuse could happen. So for those who just joined, let me just go ahead and recap right quick. There was the New York General Assembly has passed a legislation that says that they are closing the loophole for double jeopardy legislation, which means that if the federal government brought on a charge and somehow you got pardoned, the state can come back and also charge you with that same crime. And typically they couldn't do that before. That's double jeopardy. And that's only in New York. But keep in mind, we're a lot of gangsters in New York. This is New York. I mean, you know, this is where a lot of white collar crime happens and all those different things. Shonda, you said, but the feds can't just come in and take any case. I agree with that. Troy, you said it's more black men that would get commutated sentences. I hope it does affect them. What's up, Benita? I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to really understand, and I know I'm going on deep in right quick, but I want you guys to really understand how fractured our criminal justice system is. I had a conversation briefly today with a person, and we talked about criminal justice reform, and I told this person, I said, until there is never a profit to be made off the backs of prisoners, until there's a profit to not be made off their backs, nothing would ever change. I fully believe that. Nothing will ever change. And the reason I don't believe that it will ever change is because it is all about the revenue. The bodies have now become the staple. The bodies are the revenue. We've already talked about how individuals who are behind bars, they will succumb to working for pennies. We've seen them. We've talked about them working for Victoria's Secrets, a lot of the bail companies. We've seen all this go down, and we've talked about this before. And there is a profit to be made when it comes down to the bodies of people. Now, there are more people of color in prison, and that is not just by happenstance. That's just not like that. It is totally designed. It is completely designed why there are more black and brown people in prison to this day. It is designed that way. It is a money making. There is a profit. As a matter of fact, if some of you guys listen to the quarterly reports of some of these private prisons, you will hear how much money they are making in their quarterly reports. And I am really seriously, we in this country, and especially in the state of Oklahoma, are going to have to do something to change the prison industrial complex. And I'm not talking about just putting little band-aids on things. I'm talking about we're going to have to do some things that truly changes how the prison industrial complex changes in how they stop charging people and making individuals feel as if that there's a profit to be made off the backs of individuals. That is a problem, ladies and gentlemen, and that is something that I like you want to change. There's a video that I came across that listen, let me tell y'all something. I am so grateful for social media. It just balances the playing field. It balances the playing field with information being out there. I know there's a lot of mess out there, but there's a lot of education and information that you and I would never know to this day. And I'm so grateful for social media because we are able to get some truths or some hidden information that we probably wouldn't have never had if it was not for social media. So I ran into this Black History in 2 minutes by Henry Louis Gates, and y'all gotta watch this. This is crazy. Watch this.
Century developed coercive means to ensure that cotton remained king. It was called convict leasing. Get arrested on a minor charge or a trumped up charge, you could find yourself locked up and then hired out to a corporation bidding on inmate labor. The pipeline from prisons to profits in this country has deep roots.
The aftermath of slavery was in some ways worse than slavery itself. Unlike before, when someone who owned you, driving you too hard was counterproductive because you would lose your investment. Convict leasing was different. You could get them cheaper, and if you actually drove them to death, there was more where that came from.
In the 13th Amendment, which ends the institution of slavery, of course, there is a loophole. Convicts who have been convicted of a crime, they actually can be forced to work for free.
In Alabama in 1850, 99% of the people who were incarcerated were white. In Alabama by the 1880s, 85% of the people incarcerated were black. So we could have a debate about how many of those black people were actually innocent, or we could have a conversation about the use of the criminal justice system to target both the innocent and the guilty alike. That continues all the way to the present, where even today, about just under 40% of the nation's prisoners are black, and yet the African American population is about 13%. They are snatching up bodies everywhere to fuel this system.
The idea in which more money can be made out of their incarceration is still very much part of our criminal justice system.
Powerful information that I had no clue of convict leasing. I didn't know. And I try to stay up on stuff like this, but I had no clue what convict leasing was. And yeah. There's so much that I can say about that, but I know we've talked a long time in reference to some things. But let me say this, because I don't want to leave you down. My last and final statement. I know it's like a preacher. You're like, yo, he gonna keep talking. All right. I swear this is my last one, because I don't want to leave you guys down and desperate and upset, going to bed mad. Being at the right time, at the right place has benefits. A lot of times you can be in a position and you could be blessed in said position and not know that that was your blessing to actually happen in said position. Amazing. You never know where your blessing is. You just never know. You never know. And as personally for me, I have to remind myself, you just never know. And a lot of times we may feel like we're at the end of the road and nothing happens, nothing matters, until somebody comes along and with the snap of a finger changes the trajectory of your life. Watch this video.
This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans. My class will make sure they pay this forward. And I want my class to look at these alumnus, these beautiful Morehouse brothers, and let's make sure every class has the same opportunity going forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, a miraculous blessing for young men of Morehouse. For those who are in the back who did not hear what happened and didn't understand what went down, Morehouse College, Morehouse University in Atlanta, Georgia, had their commencement, their graduation. Billionaire Robert F. Smith told them he and his family will pay off their student debt. Wow. He and his family are going to pay off every one of that class of 2019's debt. Ladies and gentlemen, it costs close to $50,000 a year to attend Morehouse University. It costs close to $50,000 a year to attend Morehouse University. And with the stroke of a pen, with the stroke of his willingness, he changed their life. Just that fast, y'all. Which equals up to about 40 million. But he changed their life. Their lives will be changed forever because now they're not in debt. And one thing I love how he said is that you have to go and pay it forward. So which means if I bless you, you go out here and go bless somebody else. So I leave that to you guys tonight. I leave all that blessings and all that goodness to you tonight. When you get blessed, pay it forward. Peace.